everyone, a few days ago I made this video in Marathi telling how to learn German language in 2026. A little bit about my own journey, and some of you also requested that I should have this video in English. So here it goes. Well, this is not exactly the translated version of that video because but similar on the similar line I'm going to say when I shoot a video I don't shoot with script. My script is here and directly here, so whatever I feel like saying in that moment I say it, but more or less I'm going to talk about the same questions that I have discussed in that video, so you will not miss on any point. All right, a little bit about myself. My name is Rushika. I am 31 years old. I stay in Pune. I have my own institute called Rushika Foreign Language Institute. We provide currently courses for German language from A1 to B2. We provide two kinds of courses: live classes, which happens on Zoom or Google Meet, and another one is self-paced courses, wherein I give you the past class recordings to you in one go. Then you can learn slower, faster, depending on your availability and flexibility. You have the access for 1 year, and for combo classes, combo courses, the access is even longer. Okay, and every Saturday we have a doubt session, so you get whole support, homework support. Everything is same as live, only the form of it is different. I can also speak Chinese. I have done HSK 4 certification. I'm currently preparing for HSK 5. So hopefully this year I'll be appearing to the exam. Okay, enough about me. Before we get into all the question answers, one thing I always discuss with a student when he or she approaches me is setting up the right expectations. So the first thing I ask is, do you have any deadline in mind? Or what are your goals related to German language? They say ki I need to produce a certificate in 6 months. Okay, or I need to be able to speak because my job is mainly customer facing, wherein I have to talk with the German customers, counterparts, or business partners, etc. So that gives me a good idea whether how serious or what is the inclination of that student towards this language learning process. Some of them are just to get the certificate, go to Germany and just roam around Europe on Schengen visa. On the other hand, some are actually ready to learn the language, and the students who are ready to learn the language are the ones who are going to invest their time and efforts. So I also get that idea. Now, setting up the right expectations in the beginning is important. You will come across plenty of agents, plenty of institutes who say ki in 3 months we will take you from A1 to B2. If you consider that sentence, A1 is a kindergarten level. Kindergarten matlab kya? Ki you will learn to speak like a 5-6 years old German baby. Okay, German kid. Or B2 matlab directly bachelor level ka German, wherein you have to write big paragraphs, write complaints, complaining about some product, etc. So how can you go from A1 to that B2 level in 3 months? It takes time. Okay, just say English. Now, English, we all of us listen to English so much throughout the day, but there are still so many things we are not able to speak in English even today. Right? So it takes a while to learn that skill. What we do it in the class is just to complete the syllabus. The practical application of it comes afterwards. I recently made a video where I said that a student said to me, "Ki, ma'am, I have completed A1, but I am not still confident. I think I should brush up and then I should join A2." मैंने उसको बोला कि अभी continuation चल रहा है तो do not break that chain. But once you go to A2, तो A2 में सब चीज़ नया होगा. So then you will feel overwhelmed about A2 content, but you will start using A1 more. So that's how the progress of language learning is. It is never exactly the same. Okay. When we cover that level, we just get ourselves acquainted with the syllabus, and then afterwards the practical application comes. The skill does not get trained overnight. You have to keep on practicing. It also depends on you how much exposure of the language you have. Okay. Well, the first question that we had was, is German very difficult? I will give you my honest opinion. German is a little bit difficult. Yes, I have been learning German for 16 years. What makes I think German difficult is it has all of these articles. Okay, for every single thing around you, you are going to have an article. For example, this curtain. In English, I'll just refer to it as it, but in German, I'll have to say masculine. Okay, so this concept is somewhere similar to the Hindi, Marathi grammatical rules. But if you belong from any South Indian languages where this concept does not exist, then for you it may be little difficult to understand what is a concept first and then to learn all of this. Another thing is the pronunciations a little different. But it is quite interesting if you keep on learning now, at least for first two levels, you will develop that interest towards the language. And of course, there are plenty of professional opportunities as well for you. How much time does it take to learn German? I completed my German, that is my A1 to C1 syllabus, the levels at Goethe Institute in 2000, between 2012 to 13, 12 to 14 actually, because I was visiting my bachelor's of German as well there. And I completed the levels, only the levels in super intensive mode in 1 year, but I took a break of 6 months. And because I was not confident enough to appear for C1 exam, I took the break and then I appeared for C1. So I would say that it took me 1.5 years to go from A1 to C1. But I was learning German for about 10 to 11 hours a day. I used to do my college in the morning, which was my BA German. So I was exposed to literature, history, geography, poems, or the general level ka German, na, grammar, etc. Plus, then I used to go to Goethe Institute, Garden, Pune. So there I used to study for five hours. So itna exposure ke baad I was somewhere confident कि yes, I am able to speak. So it totally depends on your exposure. If you can give about 4 hours a day, then that timeline will reduce. But again, if you are an adult, if you are working professional, if you are married, if you have kids, if you have other personal commitments, professional commitments, then it's not possible to invest that much of amount of time every day. So give and take, if you are able to invest at least 1 hour a day, then it should take you at least 1 year to go from A1 to B1. Okay, and that is my opinion, that is my experience with my own students as well. That's why I do not provide even any super intensive courses. Invest your time and money only once, but invest it well, no? Rather than repeating the levels again and again. Doesn't make sense. Is German pronunciation difficult? German pronunciation a little different, I would say, than our the kinds of sounds that we are used to making now. For example, for me, even the German r, that is r, is still difficult. This word, na, ruhe. So earlier I used to say it as ruhe, the simple r, but it is actually ruhe. Okay, ruhe. So it's very difficult to produce that sound for me because that does not exist in my vocal track. Just say I'll give you one example from Marathi actually. In Marathi Barakhadi, okay, these letters that you see, we have this l and we have n. Now for the most of the people from North India, they are not able to pronounce these sounds because they are not used to, but we are used to. Okay. Similarly, there are some sounds in Malayalam, in Urdu, I guess, which we are not able to produce. So similar is the case with German as well. Now again, this word book, the way I say it is k, a simple plain k, book. But the Germans, whenever I used to say this word, my German friends used to say कि it sounds like k, a simple Rushika wala k, not k. But I am saying k only. I am saying book. तो इसके आगे मैं और कुछ नहीं कर सकूंगी. I cannot hurt myself that much, right? Beyond a limit. So now I developed that a little. Now I say book. I have reached that level, a little bit of improvement. But I think you should not hurt yourself too much in the process. It will, that this skill will be developed eventually. Right now, your focus should be as a beginner to understand the concepts, to understand the grammar, because A1 is a base of everything. If you understand a grammar well, then further levels को you will be able to adopt quickly. नहीं तो आपको फिर से A1 को आना पड़ेगा. Okay. Next question is articles der, die, das. How do we remember those articles? In German, every single non-living thing has a gender. Okay. In English, we refer to them as it. For example, what should I say? Cup. It is. Curtain. It is. Books. No? Those are. These are. It. That is. We do not have any gender in English. But in German, every single thing is divided into 3 categories: masculine, feminine, neutral. Okay. So what decides which articles will that particular thing take? The creators of the German language have decided. There are some tricks as well. Okay, you can visit this site to go through that list of tricks, वगैरह. But for most of the objects, they are not suitable. I will give you one good idea to remember the articles. If you have your own space somewhere, or at least just this corner, no, you can put sticky notes everywhere. Okay, if you are sitting at your table, you can put der Tisch, which is the table, or the Flasche, which means the bottle, das Buch, the book, neutral, and the plural form as well, the Bücher, which is the books. So whenever you go near to that thing, then you will see the article, and that way you can mug up. Or take any 5 articles every day and keep it somewhere in front of you. Just a sticky note pe likh lo 5 words every day, and then keep on going through them. So that way it helps. Initially, we have to actually mug up a lot of things. I have done that. Similarly, many such teachers, students have that, and you have to do as well. Yeah. When I improve my listening, when it comes to listening, there are 2 things. One is a passive listening, another one is a active listening. Passive listening is when you are playing something in the background, and your ears will start picking up all of the sounds, the words, and they will train. Just like, take an example of a child. He or she sits in front of the TV and watches this Shinchan and all of these cartoons now, and they adapt to the language because they are so much immersed into this process of watching. They keep on listening to the same words, they keep on listening to the same sounds. So we don't deliberately teach them Hindi, they adapt to the language. So the same method you also have to do. If you are working, if you are doing your chores at home, or if you are traveling, commuting, walking, in the gym, you can just keep on listening to something. You don't have to pay attention to it. Okay, just like Hindi songs or any songs, we don't like open YouTube and just sit and watch the lyrics, read the lyrics, right? We just play them in the background. Even after 10 years, you are able to remember those lyrics. Why? Because that time you kept on listening to them. So again, it comes to the exposure. Second one is active listening. Active listening is when you are trying to understand everything and trying to catch the words deliberately. Okay. So, but you have to do both. You cannot just rely on one. You have to do both. The exposure should be there. And exposure, all the books, audio material that we have in our books now, they are made for learners. So obviously everything is at a slower pace. You have to explore a lot of material outside the books as well. Okay, if you are B1 and above, you can watch some podcast, listen to some podcast. Let's say you like health, being fit. So you can listen to the podcast of Gesundheit, health related. Okay, if you are at A1, A2, you can just go through all of this YouTube videos. That should be enough. Don't take tension. You have to enjoy the process. Unless you enjoy, nahi hoga. Okay, that's it. I think these are all the questions that I covered in that video. Before I conclude, I would just like to say this thing, ki allow yourself that time to understand how the language works. Okay, and then you can start developing that skill. You have to allow yourself that time, your teacher, and don't get irritated. I know maybe you're on the clock to produce a certificate, but अगर आप अभी एफर्ट नहीं डालोगे तो फिर बाद में आपको डबल एफर्ट डालना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? And yes, let me know how you find this video. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and I think share with somebody who is learning German. Alright then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.